are a nice long train today. We are 23 pieces of equipment. This includes our locomotives, our generator cars, as well as our supply coaches, our SilverLeaf and Goldleaf. We have 716 guests traveling with us today into Kamloops. So great opportunities to take pictures of the train, especially as we start traversing through the canyons later on this afternoon. Now you're going to see we're making our way across this bridge here. If you look up to the left-hand side, the original bridge was built back in 1904 as a two-level span bridge. The bottom level was used for trains to cross over, and the top level was used for pedestrians, their wagons, horses, and livestock. Now at the time, New Westminster was a new city and they didn't want a lot of people coming in, so they put a toll of 25 cents per person and per animal. So back in 1904, if you were traveling with a large load of livestock, that could be quite pricey for you. Now the bridge would eventually be replaced in 1937. And it is a swing bridge, so it does swing open to let that larger water traffic pass through. Now the bridge directly beside us here on the right-hand side is called the Patella Bridge. This was also completed in 1937, named after Thomas Duff Patella, who was the Premier of British Columbia at the time. And then we've got the Cable Stay Bridge off in the distance. That's our SkyTrain Bridge. Oh. Okay, so hopefully we'll see. Oh, here comes the SkyTrain right now. These are the newer cars. So this was completed in 1986 when we hosted Expo here, and the theme for Expo is transportation and communication. So we had that built just in time for that. And originally when it started out at the waterfront station. That's where you would have been in the close vicinity to where all the cruise ships were in that are taking you to Alaska, and made its way to the city of New Westminster. We've since expanded with the Millennium Line and also with the Canada Line that opened just in time for when we hosted the Olympics here back in 2010. And that's basically all underground, all underneath Cambie Street. But you can take that from downtown all the way to the airport, or vice versa. So that was a great way to get around to all the different events that we hosted here for the 17 days. On average, there was about 625,000 people taking the SkyTrain during those 17 days that we hosted the Olympics here. Now we're going to be making our way into an industrial-looking area. I promise you the scenery will get much nicer when we clear this train yard. So we're making our way into a massive train yard. This is called the Thornton Yard. We are currently on the Canadian National Tracks. You'll see that there's quite a bit of activity taking place here. It's about 5 miles long. It's one of the larger train yards here in North America. At some points, there's about 10 sets of tracks that we will be seeing. This is how we transport most of our goods, is on the Canadian rail system. So we're going to be using 2 sets of tracks over the next 2 days. We're going to be using the Canadian National as well as the Canadian Pacific Rail Line. I'll explain that a little bit more in detail after we're done our breakfast. But sometimes we can see trains as long as 250 cars long, if you can believe it. So you'll really get a sense of that over the next 2 days. So we've got a lumber mill just off to the left where it's going to be all processed and packaged, and eventually it'll make its way, well, either within Canada or to the US or exported overseas. That's definitely probably our #1 industry. Following behind it, tourism would be our #2 industry here in the province of BC.